Hello and welcome to Throwdown Thursdays. My name is David and today I'm joined by my good friend and fellow teammate Ashley.
Hello.
And today we are playing DC deck building.
Woo!
You've been waiting a long time for this one, haven't you?
Very long time.
As the name suggests, it's a deck building game based on DC superheroes trying to attack villains. Players will have 10 cards in their deck. They will use cards to gain power and fight the villains. The idea is to buy cards from the lineup, which will be in the centre of the playing field, and eventually gain up more power so at some point they can attack the villains, which are worth a lot more than the guys in the lineup. So the first thing I want to talk about is the special abilities that each player has. So you got Green Lantern.
Yep.
Aidan got Superman and I got Batman. How are you happy with your ability?
Well, out of the three that have come out, I think mine's, well, on paper mine's probably the best because I can get free power once I've played 3 different kinds of cards or type with different names. So I get an extra plus 3 power, so that's nice.
That's pretty powerful.
Superman, I'd probably say, is one of the weakest, just because of the wording of his ability saying it has to be a different superpower to get the extra +1.
So you can't play like 2 kicks.
Yeah, so you can get 3 from the first kick, but you only get the base 2 power from the second kick.
Yeah, exactly.
And Batman's pretty good. I think the only problem with Batman is the fact that all the equipment cards are really good.
Yeah, so everyone wants them.
Yeah, it's quite rare that they stay on the board long enough for you to actually buy some.
So Batman, well, I'm playing Batman, so I could go through the whole game without getting any of them, possibly, and I'm basically not got any superpowers. That's it, pretty much. So along with obviously the 5 cards you can buy from the lineup in the middle, you can obviously buy the kicks, which are worth 3. Are they something that you go for straight away? Because obviously at the beginning you've got like punches and vulnerabilities. And everything's worth 1.
All depends what's on the board. I mean, Mira's just come out. I know she's not like a favourite for most people, but she costs exactly the same as a kick, and you've got that like option of her possibly being plus 4 power if your discard pile's empty. Yeah, exactly. So you'd go for her over a kick. So it all depends what's on the board at the time, really.
The main focus, well, not the main focus, but what to keep in mind when playing the game, that when you play a card you have to resolve its effect straight away. It's not like, you play all 5 of your cards and say, I do this effect, then I do this effect.
That's right.
You obviously have to keep in mind that when you play the card, you do its effect, then you play your next card.
That's right.
And it becomes quite relevant, doesn't it, with regards to, I don't know, the Robin I know I've got. When I play him, I can add a equipment from my discard pile to my hand. And if I, shuffle my discard pile back into my deck and then play him, I kind of miss the opening for doing something like that, can't I? Yeah,
that's right. But some of the effects are lingering. You've got like what's the cyborg card called?
Oh, the High-Tech Hero.
High-Tech Hero. He's plus 3 power if you play or have played an equipment or superpower this turn. So he's got a lingering effect. Aquaman's Trident, even though for a very long time we wasn't playing him as a lingering effect, I think his abilities very much a lingering effect. Yeah. Like once you play any card that you buy this turn, you can put on top of your deck. You can only do that once per turn. So.
Yeah, it's still a good effect. Yeah. So at the moment, do you feel like your superhero dictates what you're actually going to be buying from the lineup, or not really?
Oh, I think so. Depending on like who you've got. Like you've got Batman, Aidan's got Superman, so he's going to want to focus on superpowers. You're going to focus on equipment. Where me, I can just kind of, as long as I've got 3 different named cards in my deck all the time, then I can just build whatever I want, really.
Yeah, exactly. So the first super villain has been bought. This is where the game gets quite interesting. So I bought the first one. Once my turn's over, we reveal the next one, and each of these super villains after the first one has a first appearance attack. We got, is it Darkseid?
Yeah.
Darkseid, yeah. When he comes out, you have to discard 2 cards unless you reveal a villain, which all 3 of us did, luckily. But that can really affect your gameplay, can't it?
Oh, for sure.
So if you didn't have a villain that turn, you was going next. So you'd have to discard 2 cards, which leaves you don't draw at the beginning of your turn, you draw at the end.
That's right.
So you would have only had 3 cards, which would have put you at a huge disadvantage for buying any of the cards. And at the time, there was probably, oh, look, you got super strength there, and you got, is that, what's the Wonder Woman called? Is that,
Princess Diana of wherever she's from.
They're worth 7, which is a lot. Do you sometimes think to yourself, like, you really want to get that card and you try, what kind of cards are you looking at, really? Are you looking for the mainly power, the drawing cards, or...
Yeah, I mean, Super Strength is an amazing card and a must-have in anyone's deck.
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how many players you're playing. In a 2-player game, I'd never pick Starro over a Super Strength.
Yeah.
But in this game, because there was 2 other players, I thought how can I like refuse a Starro?
Yeah.
Everyone has the discard top card of their deck, and I get to play each card.
Yeah,
I could essentially make more power than 5 than the super strength. So
yeah, of course,
just got to go for it.
Exactly. Aidan earlier actually made enough power to buy Ra's al Ghul, which was the first villain.
Yeah.
He opted to go for 2 other cards. I think it was Heat Vision and something else. Now, when you gain power, it's very rare that you gain a lot of power at the beginning of the game to buy a super villain. Do you always consider buying the villain straight away when you can, or?
Oh, it all depends. I mean, especially at the beginning of the game with Ra's al Ghul out there, he's only worth 4 victory points at the end of the game, and I think he may have actually. Did he not buy Man of Steel?
I think that may have been it.
And he's worth 3 victory points, but his effect overall during the game is to put all superpowers from your discard pile into your hand.
Yeah.
It's much better than Ra's al Ghul. So I think when you weigh up the options, sometimes maybe the lineup is slightly better than the villain, but I think once Ra's al Ghul's out of the picture, and then all the other villains start coming out, they're the ones that you want to focus on for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely, like you said. So I think you've just bought the previous villain. So the next one's come up, Anti-Monitor. We have to put cards that cost 1 or more from our hand into the lineup, so other people can start buying. You had to put Clayface. Clayface is actually a really good card. I'm surprised you actually done that. Obviously, I think you had a lot of punches as well. I think the other card you had in your hand was Penguin, to draw 2 and then discard 2.
Yeah.
But then I guess with the Clayface, what you're just going to get 1 extra power.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I'd draw into something good,
but it may not transpire. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we've gone through another villain. Obviously, it's coming not towards the end of the game, but we've got like 3 villains left. So by this point, we're playing a lot of really powerful cards at the moment. And now this one's come out, Captain Cold. He's probably one of the worst, I think. He gets rid of your hero.
Yeah.
So you got no ability. So that was a misplay just then that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Aidan thought he still had his Superman face up. So he had an extra power when he played the Heat Vision. It would have gave him 4, but he only gave him 3.
Right.
So he bought something for 5. I think it was the Scarecrow. I'm not too sure. And then he bought a kick afterwards. When actually he only had 2 power at the end. When he actually had 3. So it's only a small misplay, but it allowed him to buy extra cards. So don't know if it's going to affect the game. Obviously, at the end of the game, once all the super villains are gone, whoever has the most victory points wins. So that he's got 2 extra victory points there.
Right. Okay.
Or technically 1 extra victory point because the kick he shouldn't have been able to buy it. So towards the end of the game, when you see that the villains are getting lower and lower and lower, what are you thinking? Are you just try and gain as many cards as you possibly can, or just would you not just consider buying loads and loads of kicks?
Yeah, you just want to try and get the villain as quick as you can, really.
Yeah.
You just want to get them off the board. You want to have them in your deck because there were so many victory points at the end of the game. You really don't want to pass them up.
Yeah, Captain Cold is worth 5, which is quite a lot. I think Anti-Monitor, he was worth quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I think like 11 and 12 are like 6.
Yeah, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So you're playing a good combo here right now. So I think you played the Brainiac to use cards from our hands. Yeah. I think you actually got a Clayface from Aidan, so you used it again. X-Ray Vision to play one of the cards on the top of the deck. I think you got his Scarecrow. Then you play Styro, so Scarecrow does again. So we both gain 2 weaknesses, which is really annoying because the weaknesses give you negative points at the end of the game. I think I'm sitting there with 4 or 5 at the moment, which is really horrible. How good is Parallax right now?
It would be so good in any deck.
If you could get him at the beginning, obviously it's late game now. The odds are no one's going to draw him really. But if you get him if he's like the 2nd, 3rd supervillain to come out, if you could double your power, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Man, he's really, really, really good. So let's see what's the next one. Who just bought? I think that was Aidan who just bought that. We got Deathstroke as well. This is actually quite a horrible one. But at the same time, it can be quite good because it does thin out your deck.
Yeah, you could just easily get rid of a kick if it's in your discard pile.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing we haven't really talked about that much. There's a lot of cards that destroy cards in your deck. You've got Nif Metal, reveal the top card. Yeah. You may destroy it. Aidan's been making good use of Heat Vision, so you can destroy a card. Getting rid of your deck and making it smaller is quite something that you want to keep trying to do, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Even though it's a deck builder, you definitely want to kind of rebuild it as well.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of all the punches and vulnerabilities because they're such dead draws. Especially like, I mean, sometimes I've got to like, let's just say round 15 now, and you draw 5 starter cards, and you're like, well, this is no good. Especially at this point in the game, you really don't want to be drawing them. So
that was the end of the game. I think you actually bought the last one. So let's just see what our points are saying. So Aidan had 40 points.
Yeah.
You had 60. 36 and I had 26. I think I had actually -4 points in this game, particularly because of the weaknesses that you kept giving me. It's funny, Aidan never played. I don't think Aidan gave me any weaknesses. You gave them all to me. Stupid son of a. So Aidan got 40 points in the end. He ended up with 3 of the supervillains. What's the skill level on this game? Would you say? Would you say it's quite high, or?
I think at first, when you first ever play it like we did, and you're like, what is this game? And you sit there and then you start to realise what's going on, all these little combos coming off. You're like, this game is amazing. And the more you play it, the more you start to remember the cards. Like, David does it to me still now. When he turns over a villain, he says, oh, what does this do then? Tells me the name, and I'll tell him exactly what it does. You will get there eventually. You'll know what every card does. You won't need to read the descriptions anymore. You'll see the picture and you'll be like, yep, that's the card I need for my deck right now. Yes. And yeah, I think the skill level, I think it's an easy game to master. Yeah. Yeah.
And because it's the same cards in there, it's not like you have to add any extra cards in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you're going to start with this, I wouldn't buy any expansions just yet. I would play this for a solid 2-3 months, and then maybe get the first crisis and there's mini expansions, the crossovers, etc. I think if you're going to go anywhere, definitely start with the crisis, because it just changes the game completely. Yeah, and it turns the game into a co-op game. Yeah, and it makes the game really fun.
Just quickly at the end, obviously your deck sizes were different. I think you were destroying quite a few cards as well, and you were buying one card at a time. Aidan was pretty much getting 2 cards nearly every other turn towards the end of the game. Yeah. Do you just want to keep, buying cards all the time, no matter what it is, or do you ever consider, I'm not going to buy anything, there's nothing good out there, let's just leave it?
Yeah, definitely. Like there is some times in a game where you look out onto the lineup and you think, none of these cards really fit into my deck. Maybe, even if you've got like 10 overflow of power, maybe just buy 1 kick. You don't have to buy every kick with all your power just to, it's 4 extra points at the end of the game, because you might do that move halfway through the game and you don't want to be drawing 4 kicks in one hand.
No, definitely not.
So it all depends on the state of the board and where it is at the game. At what point is it the game? If it's at the end of the game, then I'll buy 12 points of kicks. I don't mind.
Because obviously every card is worth at least 1 victory point. Yeah. Albeit there are some exceptions, like the Suicide Squad. It accumulates the more you have.
Yeah. You've got Green Arrow, who gives you an extra 5 points for 4 or more heroes.
I think Utility Belt, which is the same for equipment, which is Batman. It's a shame they don't have one for superpowers, but then it would be pretty much OP with the kicks.
Definitely.
A bit ridiculous. But congratulations, Aidan. Do you feel like he deserved it?
Yeah,
though you made that small misplay?
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the game, getting Man of Steel over Ra's al Ghul, I think he was going to win all day.
You think so?
We were all trying to get Man of Steel, and he got it first, and getting him one of the first cards, like major cards you buy. Yeah. He was winning that game all day.
Nah. Runaway train then, despite him having a couple of weaknesses as well. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.